Hello everybody, and this is what I created to be my moss pond. It is now almost a year old, and we've got lots of guppies. I've purposely sold down the moss so I could do this project right now. So first you'll notice I have plants in the filter, and they're the Phytonias, and they survived, but clearly they're not thriving, so we're going to try something else in the filter. And even though I try to not get shrimp in here when I put moss in here, you end up getting shrimp anyway. Because what I do is, I set this up to sell moss out of, because it's not ideal for me to pull moss directly from my tanks. So when I work on my tanks and pull out excess moss, I dump it all in here, and I make sure I try to get all the shrimp out. But clearly, I was not entirely successful. So we're going to get all the shrimp out, get all the guppies out. The guppy colony in here is my backup to my own line. So when I had a nice group bred out that I've been working on. And then the final group, I had two really special males, and those are the males that my other group are bred out of. But then these males were actually originally what I was after when I started the project. So I took the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place males and started this project here with some females. So first thing we're going to do is pull out all the moss. And then we're going to catch all the guppies, and we're going to sort out what guppies we're going to keep. Probably the best 3 males and the best 6 females, I'm saying. And then everything else we'll catch out and put in my mixed guppy tank. And then the next step will be catching all the shrimp out. And all the shrimp will go in the Skittles tank. And then we're going to have to restock it with moss and get this thing. I could fill this up 3 times over, but we got to get moss back in stock on the website, markshellyaquatics.com. And then we'll go ahead and give it a deep clean too while we're at it. And what are we going to put in the filter? I did Anubias with huge success. You're an Anubias immersed. Well, we have over here, we have some green Wendeti that's been sitting in this bucket for like 2 or 3 months. And it's been sitting by a window, so it's been getting some light. And as you can see, there's bits already grown up out of the water. So I think that would be cool to try. Green Cryptowendeti's grown immersed in my filter. So that's what we're going to do. Hopefully this video doesn't get too long, because we got a lot to do. First, we got to get the moss that's in there out. Okay, so now we've got most of the moss out. Yeah, grief, there's tons of baby guppies in here. Alright, let's start catching the guppies out. I'm going to put them in a bucket, then we'll take them in another room with good light, and we'll sort them out. Okay, so we got all the guppies in the bucket. Yeah, it was cloudy. I'm gonna have to come back and get a few more stragglers. The shrimp are still in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this thing drain down a little bit while we're sorting the guppies. All right, so here's the first batch. I see 1 in there. Most of them are really good. I mean, really good. There's a couple in there that, wow, they're super spectacular. Pretty good for a backup line of these guys. So, man, I don't know. This is going to be hard to pick. I like them so much. All right, so we're going to get the keepers. and then the keepers will go in there, and I'll just keep getting the next ones to sort out. I'll throw all the fry in the next tank as well, so there'll probably be some cool ones end up in there. So we're going for 3, maybe 4 males, and all the females are pretty good, probably. Alrighty, let's see what we come up with. Well, the water's kind of dirty, and you can't. My specimen container don't have the best clarity. But right here are the ones I couldn't live without. Those are pretty good. They're more like the main batch I've been working with is more like Japan blue with the tail, and these guys are more guppy, if that makes any sense. These have more of a red mosaic look to them, and the other ones have more of an Endler look to them, I'd say. And this is where all the others went. This is turning into my cull tank, and what was the remnants of my panda guppies. There's a few panda guppies left. That one's really good. Holy smokes. And there's some like that ain't so good. And then all the culls I get, whatever reason, the line I've been working on. So that means we're down to catching shrimp that are in here. This should be fun. Catching a shrimp. Alrighty, so while we're draining out this, I'm going to uproot these things. They're not really doing much. I don't know what to expect. Yeah, they did root in. They did root in some. I hate just kind of throwing these away. I don't have nothing to do with them, but I can't have regular house plants because my cats kill them. The only plants I can have are the fish stuff, fish and shrimp stuff. So we're going to pull these out. They're surviving, but they're kinda. Not really though. I think doing the crypt immersed test would be cool. So these guys kind of did their thing. That ebbs. Smells nice and earthy though. Smells just like digging in the dirt. That's a good sign. Smells just like potting soil. Can you smell these roots? Smells good, fresh, clean. Kind of wouldn't expect that. So here are the crypts we're going to try. Said this is just a bucket. Been sitting out for 2 or 3 months. I'm sure it won't be super awesome or amazing at first. It'll end up being cool eventually, I reckon. Will be fun to see how this does. You can see how it's kind of been sitting in the bottom of the bucket, then this part grew up above the water. I'm going to try to plant it like that. If that'll do its thing. Alrighty, so now we have a completely reset stripped bare tank. Gonna put in my safe. Put my filter back on that I just cleaned off. And now, time to fill. Alright, these guys have been chilling here for a while, so the first thing I want to do is get the guppies back in here. The keepers that we selected. They'll continue the guppy line that's in here, which is a backup to my guppy inler line I'm creating. So the backup to those guys that are in the 75, the Rainbow Lightning guppies. Then we gotta put in the moss that was left in here. The moss I pulled out and went through really closely. There are still a bunch of dang shrimp in here. So I gotta shake all this moss off again. So you can see the shrimp. I just put a little bit. Hey, no, don't go on the shrimp. Oh, goodness gracious. And these are the shrimpies that were in there. Fun. Alright, so now we're going to go get some moss out of a tank that is overgrown with it. This 20-gallon long will be the first one we do. I'll pull out the moss out of here and toss it in. And that'll get us a chance to see how many shrimp are in here. And we'll do this tank with the shrimp in another day. But in this video, pulling out all this moss is perfect. There's a little bit of algae over here. Other than that, perfection. Alright, we pulled out like 80% of the moss in that tank. And I know this is about moss, another thing, but there's the moss we got. This is one of the tanks that had me frustrated. It just hadn't been doing very good. One of my special project Bloody Marys, and it's really awesome to see them breeding out again after taking that moss out and just letting nature do its thing. So that makes me really happy. Let's get these guys in the newly redone pond. Not these guys, but the moss, that is. All right, there we go. So we've got quite a bit of moss in the pond now. We completely sucked it dry, and we're trying some cryptowendii green in the filter to see if we can get that grown immersed. I think we can. This right here looks really promising because in the bucket it was already starting to go immersed. So at first I didn't know because it's pretty sad looking, but it has been sitting in a bucket with hardly any light for a while. Hopefully this will, boom, gets hit that light. Everything's good. All right. So hope you guys enjoyed this little journey we had today, getting my moss pond back in order. And I'm going to have to go add some moss back on the website. Now that I got this project accomplished, I wanted this thing to sell out pretty much to nothing so I could do this. And I did, and now it's done. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.